Dennis Simpson here, about to have dinner with Ike and Joanna.
I'm Janae.
Let's
I'm telling
take two.
Do not give me steroids and make me. Brought to you by Jana Cook, Taylor Realty Group, 501-617-9747. Don't delay, call Janae. You buy M-Force Capital, Joanna Horton at M-Force Capital, 501-922-9259. Your local professional in Hot Springs Village. And literally like your good neighbor, Ike Eisenhauer, your State Farm agent. Your good neighbor is there, 501-984-4100. Dennis Simpson here, Mr. Ike Eisenhauer, Miss Janae Cook. Have I mentioned?
Don't delay.
Don't delay. And when it looks like we're about to have dinner, but we're in a beautiful little house nestled beside the beach over here, just a little, 5-minute walk from the beach, maybe?
No, I'd say 100 yards.
It's nice. Really, really nice. I think that one of the things that I love about Cooper is that they really put a lot of thought and planning into making it a community, to making it feel that way. And I the Midnight Tavern reminded me of that, because I went into the Midnight Tavern and there were people everywhere. And then in my mind, I looked back and I thought, okay, the Soto townhouses are over here. Los Logos is over here. The Los Logos 2 is here. The other townhouse association with 160 people, the density, they knew what they were doing. They knew what they were doing. And frankly, it brought us here. I'll tell my story real quick. About 2000, I had been in and out of the village with some friends and seen around. But about 2000, I came out to visit one day, and I looked around, and as I was driving out the door, I thought, this is so peaceful. It's so beautiful, so quiet. And I mean, I'm from Benton, 20 minutes away, and I thought, this is divine. People get to stay here. How do they do that? And I knew at that time I wanted to come. I really did. Ike, how did you get to the village?
Well, it was by accident almost. I was working for State Farm in a regional office in Monroe, Louisiana. Okay. And my wife, Cajun woman, I met while I was at Fort Polk.
Never let a Cajun woman cook for you.
That's right. That's what they tell you. Don't let the Cajun women cook you gumbo because they put some kind of aphrodisiac in there and you end up falling in love.
You're just hooked in there, yeah. Okay.
And so anyway, I went into this agency training program in order to get an agency in South Louisiana, closer to where she grew up.
Yeah.
And finished the course and waited an entire year for something to open up in Louisiana, and it never did. And so next thing you know, I got a call about looking at this opportunity up here. And
had there been anybody here at the time?
There was an agent that had started an agency here, and about 2.5 years later, he was gone. He was out.
Really?
Mm-hmm. He just and he's also from Louisiana. I think he wanted to go back home. And so anyway, so I got asked to come look at this, and my wife was like, "Well, why we don't want
to go there.
We don't want to move to Arkansas." And anyway, I said, "Hey, let's give it a shot." And we came up here, and it was such a beautiful place and a great opportunity. And I promised her, I said, "Look, there's the program I was in. If you didn't make it as an agent, they would allow you to path back and go work for corporate again." Yeah. And I said, look, if it doesn't work out, we'll just path back and go work for corporate, and which was plan A to begin with, you know, when we started working for the company. And anyway, that was 28 years ago.
I was about to say 28 years later. How's it going, honey?
So,
well,
yeah.
I think we'll stay.
And you couldn't dynamite us out of this place.
Really?
Yeah. So we love it.
Where did it happen that you were like, okay, this is nice, this is great, we don't want to move. We're not moving.
It was, I think when our kids started going to Jesseville School and we started becoming more of a part of the community, I think we felt more comfortable when I started making money in the business instead of having to tap into a line of credit. That felt a little bit better. And so I would say it took a good 3-4 years before we really settled in. And
I'm going to get through the both of us here. We can show you how beautiful the place is. We can talk about it all day long. We can give you stats. We can do all that. The quality of life. But I want you to listen, because it's just pristinely quiet.
It really is.
It's beautiful. It's peaceful. It's easy. even a girl from California, or, well,
No,
after she left
we don't
Nebraska.
claim that.
No, we don't claim that. She came to Arkansas by way of California. A
Yeah.
detour.
Yeah.
So we grew up in Nebraska.
Uh-huh.
Tell us the story.
I moved to California and lived out there for a long time, and then I had some friends that moved here, and I frankly thought they were a little bit. Yeah, what's the matter with you? Why would you want to live there?
And where did they move? Did they move from California also?
Yes, and my very dearest friend of 40 years moved here, and so I came with her when she moved, and I was blown away. I loved it. I fell in love with it immediately.
Really? So much so that, I don't know, maybe your sister and brother-in-law are here now.
Yes, that's true.
We see this a lot, don't we? We see these trends a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so you come and you visit and you're with her and you're helping her set stuff up and you're like, I got to go back to Cali.
Mm-hmm.
This costs what? and you live where? Yeah, you love the cost part.
Oh, yeah.
Even at the time when you moved here 28 years ago, the cost?
Oh, yeah. It was still, it was very affordable.
But you were coming from Monroe. It wasn't that, not that disparate, or was it?
It wasn't that different from Monroe, Louisiana, no. But my mom moved here from Massachusetts, and it was definitely cheaper. And,
when was that? When did she move here?
She moved here in 2006.
Hang on, I'm seeing a trend here.
Yeah.
Seriously.
Yeah, she moved here.
Mm-hmm.
My wife's aunt and uncle moved here from Houston, and her father moved here. And so we got a few people who migrated with us. And since then, the aunt and uncle moved back to Houston. They're getting older and want to live near kids. And my father-in-law just passed away, but my mom's still going. She's still here.
Well, in 2018, I had ran into a guy on National Public Radio, and he asked me if I would be interviewed. And I said, sure. And I talked about it, prefaced it. And I said, what do you have in mind? He said, so why would you live in a small town as opposed to a big town? And I said, let me put it to you this way. Why would you live somewhere you cannot afford to retire at? Mm-hmm. And he said, wow, you got a point. He said, I live in New York. I've got a roommate I can't stand. I've got astronomical rent. And then I go down the block and work at NPR and I make these radio shows. And I said, forgive me for asking, but why do you have to be in New York to make a radio show? You could probably make a radio show anywhere else.
Right.
It was like, oh, yeah, okay. So for you, real estate? Come on. How did that come up?
I didn't know what I was going to do when I got here. So the person who sold me my house said, you'd make a great realtor. So.
Can I tell you the funny part?
Yeah.
Some people might have just said, hey, gee, I'll just retire. But I got to do something.
I got to do a lot of something.
This dog has to hunt. This dog can't sit around very long. I was joking the other day. Every morning when I let our puppy out, we'll take him out and put him on the leash, and he's 11 and bouncing up and down like he's just so excited. He's so excited. Diane said, what is his deal? I said, he's got to get back outside and get to his post.
Mm-hmm.
Make sure he's doing his job.
That's right.
Sometimes we're all we got to have something to do for that sense of fulfillment. Do you see a sunset from insurance?
I don't.
He's working a half day the day of his funeral.
Yeah.
I'm very blessed. With my agency, I love the people I work with. They fire me up. They give me purpose. I don't know what I would do if I were retired. I travel a lot. I play golf pretty much when I want to play golf. So what am I going to retire to do? So
I'm doing it now.
I'm doing it now. And so anyway, I love going in the office, and I think I can keep on doing this for quite some time. So.
Good. Well, and let's talk about other quality of life. There are people at this table that have.
It's an obsession. I'm obsessed. It's so much
we have some people sitting at this table who may or may not have a semi-addiction to Casey and the Sunshine Band. Maybe.
Is
that possible? Maybe. Maybe
I would call it an obsession.
Obsession.
Yes. It's
okay.
Fun. Yeah.
So I call it a whole lot of fun.
It's so much fun.
It looks like, I see the pictures and it looks like you are having a blast. How far do you go? Where do you go to see these folks?
Well, I saw them last at Oaklawn in Hot Springs.
Which is
right?
30 minutes down the road.
That's over the snowstorm.
Yeah.
And then before that, I saw them in St. Louis, which it didn't take that long to get there. I don't know, 7 hours or something. And then before that in Bossier City, Louisiana. So.
But nobody's
Can you tag Casey in this?
I can tag. You know what? I can do that. I can tag
video.
Casey in Sunshine.
Yeah.
You know
Maybe
what
we
else?
can get a press pass next
Well,
time.
you know what else we can do is we can tag Bad Habit, because Jana will see a bad habit you're not at, right?
Yeah, that's true.
And I guess what I'm trying to say, I don't want to out our linen or whatever. My point is, the quality of life here has any level of depth that you want to have. Mm-hmm. If you want to just come and enjoy some time and be alone, that's fine. If you want to go out and have friends and go out and find a band to follow or whatever, this is the place for you to do it.
Exactly.
Absolutely.
Anyway, you've got 3 witnesses here. Dennis Simpson, Hot Springs Village Venues. We will see you next time. Don't delay. Call Jana Cook, Taylor Realty, 501-617-9747. Whether you're buying, selling, or just considering. Oh, we don't need a realtor yet. Yes, you do. Don't delay. Call Janae, 501-617-9747. Call 501-922-9259. Joanna Horton at M-Force Capital. She can offer a complimentary financial evaluation planning session just for you and your needs. Once again, 501-922-9259. And literally like your good neighbor, Ike Eisenhauer, your State Farm agent. Your good neighbor is there, 501-984-4100. The Home Plate Cafe and Bakery. Great home cooking and an amazing bakery located just outside the gates of Hot Springs Village. 501-984-6969 or go through the drive-thru. The Midnight Tavern, Hot Springs Village only late night place that stays open till 2 a.m. Great music, amazing drinks, and Chef Jana cooking for you every night. At 110 Colella Drive, Hot Springs Village, Arkansas, just across from the Shell. Call for information at 501-226-0078, 501-226-0078, or check them out on Facebook with all the latest entertainment. And by Domino's Pizzas West and upcoming East. That's right, Domino's Pizza will have an East location mid-2026. Great food, great service, and great 501-915-9595. 501-915-9595. KVRE at 92.9 and streaming worldwide on iHeartRadio. KVRE is your family-owned local hometown radio station, so be sure and tune in for live local programming, news, sports, and information every day at 92.9. HSV Radio. HSV Radio is heard every Saturday morning at 9 a.m. or streaming on any of the major platforms. Hot Springs Village Radio is an eclectic mix of music, motivation, great music history, and Saturday morning fun. Join us every Saturday morning at 9 a.m., 92.9. Hot Springs Village only short-term rental with over 2,100 five-star reviews. All properties are lakefront. They include complimentary kayaks, hot tub, pet-friendly, and a stunning view of the lake. Visit DD Village Prop today for your vacation getaway.